I'm here to teach. I am here to share what I've learned over the years for following your intuition. So please let me know in the comments, what's been your experience with following your intuition? Do you find it easy? Do you find it maybe hard? Or do you, you're sort of somewhere in between? How do you feel about this? So I would love for you to comment to let me know where you're at with this. And we're going to jump into an energy alchemy to clear your blocks to your intuition. I'm going to talk to you about how to really follow your emotional guidance system, which is a real thing. And it's so important. Except everyone's like writing pros and cons list and trying to like rationalize everything out. And that's really not what works. Because intuition, as they say, it will tell you which direction to go, but it often, it will point the way, but it won't explain, basically. So still shutting down all these tabs. This is definitely something that I'm creating for you because, I just know what it's like to not be certain, not know if you're making the right decision or any of that. So I'm going to talk to you about trusting your intuition. Okay, so because my first Guided by Your Soul program, which is what I'm celebrating with this training, I wore my blue wig. You'll see, like, if you like sign up for the home study program, which you'll get all of the last program, which was it was a decent like little program to get your teeth into, but it's not too big and overwhelming either. You'll see that I was wearing a blue wig the whole time. So I'm going to honor that. I'm going to wear my purple wig. So I'm about to put it on, but just not to confuse people, I thought I'll just turn up with my regular hair, because some of you know me quite well and you know that I like to wear wigs, but then others of you, you're pretty new here. And, sometimes you're like, well, who is this girl? Is this the same girl I saw last time? So let's just do this real quick. Okay, so while I do that, hang tight. We're going to get into the training and the tapping in just a moment. Let me talk about Guided by Your Soul. So this is my home study program, and right now it's on an early bird sale, basically, because I'm going to be releasing 3 new modules, a new chapter, a whole new chapter, my whole new updated understanding, my new way of explaining, my new way of teaching, my new way of being, all upgraded than what I used to be. And this new chapter, once I release the first module of the new chapter, which will be pre-recorded, and I'm trying to keep it as direct and to the point so that you're not just like swamped with a whole heap of, time that you have to put into it, but it's going to be super valuable. And as soon as that's released, the price will be going up. Now, there's one spot for the bonus this time. And the bonus is a private one-to-one session with me, a pure manifesting session. If any of you here have done my work, you will know that my energy alchemy is really one of the most powerful you're going to find. I'm not just saying that's because it's mine. In fact, in the beginning, I couldn't have admitted that. It's because time and time again, not only have people told me, but the stories that they tell me are so incredible, and the way they feel and the way you can see them like light up like light bulbs and like from like just one state of being to this lit up energy. It really is the best. So this is the wig I'm wearing today. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to put the link in the comments. And if you want to jump in, if you know that, my work is just something that you love doing, you're going to get plenty of energy alchemy. You're going to get trainings to do your intuition and really fine tune it in your body. And of course, we're going to do an energy alchemy here for you today for free. So whether you sign up or not, just stay around. And the other thing is, so my single sessions right now are £333, which is something like around $450. And the Guided by Your Soul right now in early bird special is only £222. So not only do you get the old chapter of the program, you get the new chapter of the program, plus you get one single session with me for free for less than the cost of a single session with me, which one-to-one work is the most powerful way. And there's only one spot for that. So just the first sign up, because the universe loves speed. God, the universe, the divine. It really does reward people who trust their intuition, which is going to be one of the modules in the new chapter. Okay, so let's see how I put this on. You ready? Dun, dun, dun. Okay, I don't think I'll bother tucking the back in. Just here on video. I cannot believe how much better I look with this purple hair. I swear I wish that I was born with this hair. Don't we all wish that we were born with like even better hair? Okay. Look at that. It takes like 5 years off me. It's crazy. Let's go. Where am I on here? So what do you think? Is that on right? I usually tuck this bit under. Okay, we're just about to get started. Jump into the energy alchemy. I will post the link to Guided by Your Soul. If you want to be the first one, don't feel like you're, keeping it from someone else. Trust that it's going to go with the person it's meant to go to. So if you do want to sign up and get that for yourself, feel free. If you want to decide and wait for later, it's still worth it, even if you miss out on the one-to-one session. But if you sort of know that you love my work and you want to do it anyway, then I definitely invite you to join. Okay, so share, copy link, and then as soon as I send this and I fix my wig, we'll jump in. Ta-da! Okay, one thing done. Okay, who's ready? Give me a like or a love or an emoji, and we are about to get started for Guided by Your Soul. So what do you think of the purple? Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Is it pretty even? Honestly, as I already said, I wish this was my real hair. That's why I used to wear these wigs all the time, just because it's so gorgeous. But I actually went through a stage of just trying to be as natural as possible, and I'm still going through it. Not really, I mean, it's okay. I love makeup and people wearing makeup and stuff, as long as it's coming from the right place. And for me, I was constantly always trying to hide a part of who I was, thinking there was never enough and always had to be better and things like that. So I've really on purpose just stripped everything back. And it's really helped me let go of a lot of insecurity, actually. I used to be super insecure, and the more I do video, the more insecure I get because I couldn't handle how I looked, and then I'd start putting on weight, and then I'd start getting more insecure. So I sort of did a lot of healing work around that, took some time off, and sort of nipped that in the bud, and now I feel so much more confident and comfortable in not having to be anything different than I actually am. Okay, but that's a bit of a digression, isn't it? Okay, let's fully come into this space. Shut your distractions down now. Treat this like it's a premium training that you're literally paying like $1,000 or pounds to be here, because this is important work and really is the sort of thing that we should all be taught as children. Hi, gorgeous. Hi, welcome, welcome. Thank you for the emojis. It's so good to see you here. Now, I had to learn that our intuition, it lives in our body. So this may sound obvious, and maybe I'm just late to the party, although I have been practicing for a long time now. But I always used to think that intuition was more something that, like a flash you'd get, which, I mean, it can be incorporated with that for sure. It's not like it's not that. But what it mostly is a feeling in your body. Now, here's where it gets tricky, is your feelings are not facts, and your feelings will lie to you. So how can it both simultaneously be something be in your body, yet your feelings are not facts and will lie to you? Okay, well, it's a fine balance, and you have to learn, and through trial and error and time and experience, you get to practice following your intuition like I'll teach you today, and see which one works and what doesn't after it happens. So I remember a long time ago when I first started realizing my intuition was, you know how time and time and time again, something will happen and you go, oh, I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have done that. I knew it should have been different. I knew it. And you're like kicking yourself because you sort of knew, even though you thought you didn't know, but you sort of had a feeling not to do the thing or to do the thing. And you missed out on it, or something went wrong because you didn't listen to your intuition, but maybe you didn't know it was your intuition at the time. So that's how I first started learning. I just started noticing every time I go, oh no. And then I just started noticing. It's really that simple. You have to give yourself grace and the understanding that you can learn and that you can grow and that you will learn and you will grow. So the next time you get that exact same feeling, which I'm going to teach you how to look for, you simply follow it and you stop needing a logical reason. Let's all take a breath together and fully come into this space. If you know me, you know breathing resets your nervous system. I'm all about it. And so say hi as you come on live as well, or if you're here on the replay. I'm just so excited to share my Guided by Your Soul masterclass. Now, it should actually be called Guided by Your Higher Self. And this is part of the training because your soul is mixed up of your higher self and your lower self. It's your higher self is the part that's closest to God, or if you prefer the word the divine, it doesn't matter. Don't get triggered on the words on either side of the fence, as long as you believe in a higher power that guides you from love, then it's okay. What matters is just faith, even if it's not exactly accurate. I don't think any of us really have it exactly accurate, you know? So whichever words you like, you insert depending on what I use. So we get these emotional distortions in our soul, which is what my energy alchemy clears. And these emotional distortions are, they're not really mixed. They're sort of caused by, but in a feedback loop, also cause the negative thoughts. So in a way, they're sort of caused by negative perceptions that then cause the feelings, which then cause more of the thoughts. It's a replicating fractal. That's why our beliefs are self-perpetuating, keep proving themselves to be true, even though they're just self-fulfilling prophecies, right? And when we do emotional purification, which is again what my energy alchemy does and what we're about to do today, you purify all the negative beliefs, all the negative feelings and the stagnant, stuck negativity, but you don't release it like people think. You transmute it. You turn it back into its original source of love, of joy, of bliss. And guess what? Now, you probably know this, but do you really know this? That love is an intelligence. God, the divine, is love. It's not just a feeling. In fact, it's first and foremost a set of thoughts, directives, perspectives, and a law about how the world works, really works. And it turns out the world is actually a benevolent, kind, and loving place. And it is all about love and liberty. But we don't see that a lot of the time because of the self-perpetuating beliefs passed down through the generations due to our free will. And if evil wasn't allowed to happen, then we would just be mechanical puppets and love would be meaningless. So we've been given the greatest gift of free will and to be able to create with the creator's energy, consciousness, power. And that's why you see all these magical synchronistic experiences happening, because we literally are creating with the creative energy of God. So God always says yes, even if it's the most horrific thing, because in the evil or limitation, in the anti-life and against the spiritual law ways that we all hold in various degrees, is the medicine to overcome it. So you know how, I mean, if you try doing a certain thing for long enough and it just doesn't work, then eventually you're going to realize that what you're doing isn't working. And this is actually a multi-lifetime process. And because even though it could play out over even eons for some of these big patterns for like society and stuff, eventually you realize that trying to control everything and force everything and hate everything and resent everything and all these things, it doesn't work. And it will crumble and turn into a mess. And in that is the gift of free will, because then rise up into the truth of love, which is divine will, which is an intelligence. So that's all the background for why purifying your soul is so important. It's literally the reason why we're on earth. The meaning of life is to raise up in consciousness, is to raise yourself up, to raise other people up, which you do through your own perception, first and foremost, and also obviously the acts, like, because, you know, faith is dead without good deeds. But at the same time, good deeds are useless without faith, right? And so as you purify the negativity and the belief saying that it's dangerous and you're not safe, and in order to get what you want, you have to compromise your values and people please or hurt others or these other things, whatever it is. As you purify that and change your perception of it, you untwist the pain into love, and then you become more intelligent, literally. You become brighter, you become smarter, more brilliant. You access your genius. You become lucky. Like, these aren't just things I'm saying because I read it in a book, okay? I have experienced this in my own life over and over and over again, coming from someone with PTSD, with severe and crippling chronic anxiety, low self-worth, to the point where I could never have done anything like this when I was younger. In fact, I couldn't even be on camera. I certainly couldn't be in front of people like this. I would have frozen, like, completely. And so I know, but not just through me, through the thousands of people I've helped around the world that have the most miraculous stories, and they literally become lucky and like get headhunted for sometimes like TV or jobs, or clients come out of the blue, or their husbands get promotions and big raises that like nobody else in the company has gotten, and the only thing they changed was doing my tapping. Okay. And that's because we clear the impurities, we fill you up with love, which you're already filled up with, but we untwist the fear, the pain, the hate, the anger, the resentment, the unforgiveness, and we bring it into love. And this is the most beautiful, wonderful thing. And so by the end of this, we're going to jump into it soon, but I want to give you a few more tips. By the end of this healing, you're going to feel more open. You're going to be literally more intelligent. It actually does raise your intelligence, because thinking from these low-level programs of, well, I can't do this, and we have this whole story of why we can't do it, why they'll think that you're not good enough. And guess what? You will go out and you will create that to be. They won't think you're good enough because you feel it. And then it'll be replicated, and over and over and over again, you'll back away from that failure, from that fear of failure, from the risk. And we have to be able to fail. We have to be able to fail publicly. And that's hard, because the more successful you get, the more you can fail publicly in front of people, and it can be hard. But that's why we do the emotional purification work, so we can walk forward, so we can know the right decision. And so that even when seems like things go wrong, we can trust that we still made the right decision, because even though we wouldn't make it again because we learned from it, it needed to be made then to get the lesson, to learn what we're learning now, to move forward more intelligently. Does that make sense? And you'll be able to think of things that happen in your life that maybe something fell apart and you could see how you really could have done a lot better. But actually, in hindsight, it's good that it fell apart, because you were like trying to fit, a square peg in a round hole. And even though you wouldn't make that same decision again, because now you're more spiritually aware and emotionally intelligent, it's good to happen then, because otherwise you'd still be stuck in that thing. Have you ever been through anything like that? I know I went through that recently in a really big way, life-changing, life-altering. And so, yeah, that's another reason why I'm excited to share this intuition program with you, because part of it is knowing that everything that happens is always for you, even when it seems like it's not, even when it feels like it's not, even when it's terrifying, even when like the worst things happen that you could give me examples. Well, what about this and that? There will always be a reason. It may just be deeply complex, convoluted, and hard for us to see. It may be deeply karmic and a multi-lifetime cycle for some people. But it is what it is. That's how it works. Okay, so your emotional guidance system. Are you ready? So if you haven't already, please make sure you're subscribed. And if you want to bring more people into this, if you want to give back or help people, learn this, give it a little share real quick if you want. Okay, so the emotional guidance system means, let me start again. So your emotional guidance system means that your mind is a GPS. Literally, and this is why I love this modern day and age for the example of the GPS in the car. When you get into the car, you set your little GPS, you say, where am I going? Let's say you're in Texas and you want to go to Miami. You set it. Okay, now, if you were to then drive out your driveway and get 3 streets on and go, oh, that's it. I'm not in Texas yet, or I'm not in Miami yet. Let's say you're driving from Texas to Miami. I'm not in Miami yet. That's it. Miami doesn't exist. Well, you're doing it wrong. Okay, so let's apply that to what we do in our life. We decide what we want. We feel called to do something. It keeps bothering us and pestering us no matter how much we turn away from it, right? And then we say, okay, fine, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then we get 3 blocks down the road. Something hasn't worked out. There's a roadblock. There's a detour. There's a roundabout. There's a bridge. And we go, that's it. Miami doesn't exist. Okay. Now, the other one that you can do is, let's say you start driving along and you pull over every 5 minutes to start pulling out on the GPS to look for every turn you have coming up in front of you. Now, it's just lunacy. It's insanity. It doesn't make sense. Like, would you do that? Think about it. So why are you doing that with your life? What you have to do is now, again, there's a flow chart. So let's say what you have to do is lock what you want into your mind. There's so many little subsections to that. So for instance, you also have to have detachment. You also have to understand that it's either this or something better. You also have to understand that you may want something that's actually not good for you, and so it won't be given to you, and things will keep falling apart until you redirect. Or it might be that what you want is for how it will make you feel, which is why we want everything, really. But yeah, it's the same as the last example. You keep getting redirected because there's something better for you that you're just not letting yourself see because you're so attached to it. It has to be this way. It has to be this way. And then the other one that's coming to mind, which is really important one, and took me a long time to understand, is sometimes not getting what you want is the greatest gift, truly. Because one, it might have just been what I said, the wrong things. It might have been a rejection, which was a redirection. But in this example, it's because you're not ready to hold it. It's because you have to be fortified and built up and made stronger and see things differently and let go of certain things and just sort of be built up as a person. Let me get this on a bit better. Yeah. And sort of just be built up as a person who can hold what you want. And this is everything. So if there's something that you really want, what's that thing? Just think it to yourself. Well, who are you going to be once you already have that and you're already living the life? Because you're not going to be doing the same things that you're doing today. You know, there are so many times in my life and in other people's lives when they're like, oh, I want to move. I want to live somewhere else. And I'm like, okay, you ready to actually pack your bags and go if you had everything you needed, like the money and all of that? People are like, well, no. And he's like, would you actually and genuinely, truly want to leave literally tomorrow? And a lot of people don't. They just think that they want it because they think it will be better. But actually, sometimes you need to be exactly where you are and learn to love where you are now, because it's not always about getting to the next place to make it better. It's about making where you are better now, starting with your freaking bedroom and your living room and your house, your clothing, the way you see yourself, the way you see others, the people around you. And you start making where you are better instead of needing to escape it. And that's mastery. That's when the whole world will start filling in around you in better ways. And then what you want will naturally come to you. The opportunities will come to you. So, okay, the emotional guidance system, GPS, works exactly the same. So you sort of lock what you want in your mind with the general understanding that it doesn't have to happen exactly how you see it at all. Yeah. So the imagination is just really to get the feelings up, to set the mind. And sometimes it will happen exactly as you see it. Sometimes it will, but sometimes it won't. And that's good because which is human, which is powerful and divine and multidimensional and awesome. But we don't see everything. You can't, we have God living within us, the divine living within us, which at the same time can see everything that's happening right now. Can see it's in the room with every single one of us, hearing all of our thoughts, knowing where we're going to go next. It's in the future with us, knowing where we've just been and all the different dimensions that we're in. It knows everything. And yet we're getting all upset because, I didn't get this one thing. And it's like, but you can't actually see the future. You would think you can, but you can't. You don't know. I didn't know that when I went to Thailand, and it took a trillion, I'm not kidding, it must have taken a trillion converging events to bring me and my husband together, born opposite sides of the world, meeting in a bar named Eden on a paradise beach in Thailand while we were dancing. And the weather actually brought us together because he was going to leave that morning if it wasn't sunny that day. That him and his friend had decided they were just there for one day. The next day they're going to leave if it wasn't sunny on that island. And then I lived there at the time just for a few months. I went to this sort of bar and I was like, not really feeling it tonight. And I went to put my hands on the chair to stand up to go. And even though I love tropical rain and I'd happily go out in tropical rain, the sky opened up with the most heaviest rain you've ever seen, and I would have run out into it, but I just had this feeling. I was like, So I went to the bar and I got a bucket of alcohol and a little thing of weed because I smoked weed at the time, and then I just I had a great time and talked to everyone that I knew there and danced about. And my husband saw me, and he just 2 weeks before, timing, said, I put a post on Facebook, he just decided after something like 43 years of being mostly a chronic bachelor, seriously loved being a bachelor, was a real ladies man type person. And 2 weeks before he met me, he said a post on Facebook, he's like, all right, universe, I'm ready to meet my wife. I want her to be, confident but not arrogant. I want her to be, ballsy but not this and that. I want her to have a big heart but not be a pushover. I want her to have big boobs and a big bum and a beautiful smile and these other things. It wasn't that much longer than that. And he forgot about it, really. And then he saw me on dance floor, and he tells me that the first thing he said to his friend, or thought to himself, was, that's my wife, because I matched his description. So my whole point is, he didn't even want to go to Thailand. He wanted to go to Spain. His friend only took him there to Thailand because they knew friends who had built houses or something there many years ago. I wasn't going to be on that beach because I needed good internet. And it's a little secret beach that has really dodgy internet. And so I was going to go on the different part of the island, but I had a friend there who I decided to go and visit just for the weekend. And I didn't leave. I was there like 3 months later because it was amazing. And then there goes Dean. And he was going to go to a different bar, somewhere called the Banana Bar. But because of his love of rocks and following his intuition, his interest, he saw like this little rocky path, interesting, and his friend Gary is like, oh, the bar's this way that, I went to last time I was here. And Dean's like, oh yeah, but let's just follow this for a bit. And they followed it up this hill, this really cool hill, and then they came to Eden Bar, which is where I would frequent. And they were there at 12 p.m. during the day before anyone was there. They set up and they just parked up there all day, and then the party started around them. And then I showed up, and I'd been there for a while, and then I was dancing, having the time of my life. And that's when we met. And the amount of things that had to go into that happening, I couldn't have said, I'm going to Thailand to meet my husband. I wasn't interested in being in a relationship. That's why I found it so easy. I mean, I was obviously somewhat open to it, but I was enjoying being single for once. And he wasn't attached to finding a relationship at all, but he had just decided for the first time in his life that he was really, really ready. So following our emotional guidance system and just trusting instead of like logicking it out. Like if I was being logical, I would not have been there because I wasn't able to work on my business properly because I didn't have fast internet. So I sort of sacrificed that to stay in this really amazing place on the island of Koh Phangan in Thailand. And yeah, just so many things happened. And so that's what I'm talking about with the GPS. So your mind is a GPS. I didn't even know I was getting a relationship, but my higher self obviously knew, because everything that Dean and I have been through, it's just, it had to have been a soul contract predetermined before we got to this life. So amazing and crazy. And that's also why I've done my romantic love program, and I have my my relationship makeover summit, my free summit coming up in May. So I have a few things on the relationship side. I also do the visibility side, intuition side, and I also actually do chronic healing as well. So if anyone here has back pain, things like that, even womb cramps, stomach spasms, just know that I actually heal it better than doctors. That's a side note. So to listen to your intuition, and we're about to get into some clearing now. It's really about feeling the movement of your body when you think of what you want without attachment to it. So we're so used to rationalizing everything. Maybe you have to think about leaving a job or firing a client or moving to a new location. And the second you think about it, you immediately have all these, like a flow chart, right? Like A, B, C, D, E underneath is like, all these ideas. And then, what will this person think? And will I hurt this person? And you just immediately, these flowchart of thoughts come up. And rather than being clear, like empty-ish, and letting yourself feel into it, like I'm about to teach you, you'll have all these come up in your head. Now that can be worked through and cleared, and it is a process. And again, that's what Guided by Your Soul is going to help you with. And for the person that does get the fast action, the only one and only bonus single session with me as the first person who signs up, we can absolutely work through this or whatever's important to you and your manifestation journey. But you have to be able to tune into it without any attachment of the outcome, without worrying if you'll hurt anyone, without worrying what will happen, and just sort of imagine as though it's already happening, like it's already there, it's already a done deal. And it can be really gentle, actually. And now it'll be a few ways it will show up. For me, it will show up in either expansion is a yes. And for some people, they'll feel it in different places in their body. So if you feel like a yes or a no in your legs, that's okay. Some people feel it in their legs. Some people feel it in all different ways. So we're going to do the exercise so that you can find out what yours is. The yes, for me, is a big, expansive contraction rising feeling like this. And the no contraction is a sinking, more clenching. If it's a real no, it's a big cramping. Now, the caveat to this is, of course, you can have limiting beliefs in the way that say that what you should do isn't safe. So this is why we do the energy work. This is why you want to use it as a foundation, as part of your regular life, because it will give you time. It will give you time because it will pack more amazing life force, life experience, opportunities into your life, because when you feel safe, then you feel open to move forward and to have things just attract into your life. This is real. Now, another one that a lot of popular people use, now I can use it sitting down, but they say to use it standing up, is yes is often leaning forward And it's very imperceptible, very like almost, it is perceptible, but very, so I would like everyone here to choose a decision about something that you want to know to do. It could be between 2 different programs you want to run, or 2 different books you want to write, or even what you want to have for dinner. Or it could be like whatever's happening in your life specifically about, do I talk to this person tomorrow or today? Or just think of 2 actual concrete options that are either yes, this, or yes, that. Okay, so have you got your options? Okay, so as I was saying, some people it's like the leaning forward for yes, and then no is a back. And this is why pendulums work, not because the pendulums are obviously magic, I'm sure we all know this. It's because the muscles in your body, and this is where muscle testing comes in. Now, muscle testing hasn't really worked for me personally very well, but I do know it works. It's just I personally haven't really been able to use it on myself, and I don't really need to because I'm so connected with my body. And it helps. I mean, I wasn't always, I had a lot of trauma growing up, so I hung outside my body most of my life. It helped me with psychic powers a bit, but yeah, so I've mostly been very disconnected from my body, and that's why I created so much chronic disease and illness in my life, which is, you know, what I've been healing naturally, which is why I'm so gifted in helping others heal it as well. But what we want to do is get you in your body more and more and more, and sometimes that can be quite uncomfortable because you've got such dense energy in your body. If it's uncomfortable, so to be in your body, it means your actual head energy here and wherever you feel your person as a person, you actually sort of stuff it or bring it just down into your body bits. Feel it in your leg, feel it in your torso. So practice this as I'm saying this, obviously. And if you feel like a shortness of breath or a tightness or something like that, it's just because you're not used to being in your body. And again, this is where the emotional clearing comes in. So it would be great if you want to pop your thoughts in the comments and I'll personalize it to you, but otherwise I'll just keep going with my intuition. So tell me. Okay, so feel into your body. So put your hand on your heart. Remember, especially now, pause all distractions. Take a breath. Pause your thoughts as you inhale. Big sigh, big yawn, even if it's fake. Now I want you to ask your body, how much do I trust my intuition? Listen, don't feel, don't think. I don't want some positive thought popping up in your head. We want to go into your body. Okay, so let's ask. And just ask, don't need the answers to pop up. You're just going to feel around. In a moment, we're going to do some numbers. But first, I just want to stir things up. So feel into your heart, like maybe behind your hand, if it's over your heart. And ask, how safe do I feel to move forward? Just listen. Notice what happens in your body. Okay, so one more question, and then we're going to go to some statements. And I want you to see what happens. So this next question is, how much can I trust myself to decide what's best for me? So notice what happens in your body. Does some energy shift in one direction or another? Okay, so this is where it's going to get interesting. So really stay here now. So we're going to make statements that are meant to be positive affirmations, but I want you to give yourself permission to be negative. Let yourself be. Now, this isn't creating the negative. This is just tapping into something that's already there. Yeah? Yay! Hi, teeny tiny Tasha. Perfect. Okay, so perfect timing. Perfect timing. We've just did the teaching. I did a little preamble, and now it's time to get into the actual bones of it. By the way, do you like my new nails today? Look at these ones. I just got a gem. And I put that gem on myself. Yes. Okay. This is really cool. So what you're going to do is you're going to let yourself be negative. Remember, you're not creating the negativity. It's already there. If you bring it up to the light and you make a friend with it, even if you don't like it, you find a way to understand it, have compassion with it, get that it's just wanting to be safe, then it will change its mind. This is the key to emotional alchemy. But if you're constantly trying to ignore it, scared of your fear, if you're scared of your fear, then that's just actual what the problem is. But if you can allow yourself to have fear and sit with it for a bit and not freak out about having fear, then you can actually change its mind. You know, have you ever like been crying and your partner comes in, or, you know, a friend comes in and they're like, oh, stop crying. And they try to give you a solution and you got tears streaming down your face. You're like, man, I just want to cry right now. And they're trying to get you to stop. Well, that don't work. It's not good. Same with your feelings. Surprise, surprise. So what you want to do is give them the space to feel how they actually feel, and then they will change as you care for them. This is epic. Most people don't know this. Even a lot of healers try to hurry the process, but this is why my work works faster and more powerful, because I know how to give it time and space, slow it down to speed it up. I think that's a lot to do with quantum jumping too, isn't it? Okay, so yes. Okay, so say these affirmations, and I want you to feel any discomfort underneath. And if you would like to put it in the comments, then it will help me know where to take it for you so it can be personalized to you. Okay, so you're going to feel around your body. When you say the words, let's make some up. So, what about this? I always make the right decision. Say it out loud if you can. And again, I always make the right decision. Say it like you really mean it, and then notice what happens in your body. Don't fight it. Just let your body do her thing. So say, I always make the right decision. Keep going. I trust myself completely. I never make a wrong move. Don't try to think of anything. This is a feeling thing. So just notice, do you have a sinking? Do you have an expansion? Do you have a leaning? Okay, so what did you get to those? Was it like a full, yes, you believe that's true? And now don't worry if you have some negative stuff come up. Most of us, we really do. Most people do. And even though consciously you've been doing all this inner work and you're feeling more positive than ever before, there are still some deeply negative parts, especially if you have any type of chronic pain or emotional anxiety or overwhelm or unable to relax or unable to move forward, whichever one of the spectrum you're on. It's just like impurities in your soul that we get to clear it. Yeah. So take a big deep breath. Okay. So what answers did you get to that? Did you notice anything come up? Did you notice any contraction, any tightness? So just to be clear, make sure that you choose, I want you to choose something that you want to decide between. It could literally be something simple like what to have for dinner, or it could be like an actual life decision, like do I do this program? Do I do that program? Do I... literally any decision that you have, but either it's a yes this or yes that, just two clear choices, something that you want to choose in your life. So does everyone have their thing? So when I was asking the questions you suggested, I got tight on my left collarbone area. Awesome. So that's a part of you that does not trust that. In my energy alchemy, which is what we're about to do, what we do is we actually go and we talk to these parts of you because it has an opinion. Yeah. When I said the affirmation, it was, okay, that's good, that's good. When I said the affirmations, it was not there. Great. So that means that you probably have a lot more trust in those areas, yeah? So mine is your left side by my rib cage. So you just want to allow anything that comes up to come up, and everyone's really different. So, I mean, I'm quite gifted at doing these live trainings. I've done loads of them, but it's a lot easier when I have, you actually telling me what is happening for you, because I will tune into what you need and it will be what you need. But at the same time, I love knowing, being able to bounce off what you're doing. So, okay, let's do this. So when you say, I trust my intuition completely all of the time, except that maybe, say that. Maybe sometimes I can't trust myself because, and listen. Does anything pop up? Okay, take a breath into your body. And now if things do pop up, feel free to put it in. And now if things aren't popping up for you, that's fantastic. But then you just want to go either slightly to a different angle to look at this, or something really bigger, which I guess trust my intuition all the time is pretty big though. I make impulsive choices. Okay. Yeah. And sometimes, it really is about pausing. And that's something that I have to, or that I am in process of practicing more too, the pause, instead of just going with that impulsive choice that, what's it called when they say delay see, I can't see, clearly I'm not someone who delays it, whatever it is. Delay it's like I'm hearing gratification, like satisfaction and gratitude, the gratification. Yeah. And sometimes when we can pause right before that, that's when you can feel into your body the yes and the no. Okay. So let's just tap now. So we're going to do a clearing. And I'm going to get you to feel into any part of yourself that doesn't fully feel safe in this universe. Gratification, yeah. Okay, so I'll just let yourself be really honest and think about what it is that you want on both options. And do they both feel safe? So think of one. What's your first option? Say it to yourself or look at it and think of it and say, this is completely safe. Feel it in your body. Take a breath. Notice any tension. Don't try to change it. Don't fight it. For a lot of us, that can be hard to do because we're so used to it. Okay, take the other option. Think about it. Feel into it. Imagine it's already happened. This is completely safe. Okay, so did one of them feel more contraction, more expansion, more of a lean forward, more of a lean back, more of an interest, more of a put offness? What happened for you? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to clear this feeling of safety, of non-safety, of danger, because once we work on both of them, we clear them, then you'll be a clear channel and you will know the answer. And by the end of this, you're going to know which one is the right one. Even if you can't explain it, you'll just feel it. But not like the regular, like when people get in their feelings and you can't trust your feelings. This will be your intuition in your body. Okay, so we got someone who can let me know what came through for you, and then we'll get started. And if you're on the replay, let me know too, because I want to hear. Okay, just waiting for one little response and then we'll get in. So again, if you missed it, it is thinking of both your things and telling yourself how safe it is. It's safe, it's safe, it's safe. Like it will work out, it's safe. I've got this. I know what I'm doing. You know, feel into it and notice what happens in your body. And out of 10, I want you to feel, how safe does it feel? How fully 100% safe does this avenue feel? 10 is most safe, feeling most open and expansive and yesness. And 1 or a 0 is obviously really, really not safe. And there's no judgment here, okay? Don't make it more positive than it is. Just let your body tell you. Okay, and do it 1 for each. And now, because we haven't done the tapping yet, it's maybe not the most reliable. You may still get the same answer afterwards, but likely it'll be a little bit different. Okay? Let's begin. Anyone got the numbers? Okay. So we're just going to tap into the safety. Option 1 feels stuck. Interesting. So actually before, I'm glad you said that. See, this is why I love the comments. And of course it's okay when people don't, but it really helps because sometimes, so we'll see what happens after the clearing. It might be the same thing, but sometimes the option that you can't imagine it, maybe it's usually the one that you want most too. That seems like, no, this is the one, in my experience for me anyway, it's like, this is the one I want, but I also got this other option, but maybe it will be bad for some reason, or it will hurt someone, or it'll be too cold, or whatever it is. But that one, you can just naturally have this, there's like a stream of imagination. It just a very gentle, sort of filling in the blanks sort of stream of imagination about the future, and it just sort of drops in, and you just sort of easily, and it just happens automatically. You just start sort of automatically imagining the future. It's like, oh yeah, well, if I did this, then, and it's not even necessarily thinking of it like this, although you could, but it just sort of drops in, and it's sort of like, you just see it. And sometimes it could be like that quick. And it's just like, oh yeah, this, and then this. And then the other option is like, oh, I really want this, but yeah, it's like a wall. And so it's usually the option where you can see clearly, but that's why we want to do the emotional alchemy. Okay. So yeah, I would say that that's probably going to be what it is. But we do want to clear the limiting beliefs in the way. So why might it not be safe? So ask yourself, why might it not be safe? You can do it for one each if you want, if you have it on both, or just use the one that feels stuck. And remember, we're not actually doing this to change your mind about it either. I know that's sort of, why am I doing it? Well, because you just want to clear as much programming out of your system as possible on every topic all the time, as much as possible, because it's just going to make you a clear channel for actual truth, which is how the universe works, so that you'll make the right decisions. Okay, so you can put it in the comments if you want. Why isn't it safe? Just listen, feel the feeling, and let it say whatever it is. And it doesn't have to know specifically. Okay, you ready? So tap, tap, tap. So notice what happens in your body. Stay really connected with the feelings. Do not turn this off now. Stay till the end, because we're stirring up negative stuff. Do not turn this off. Otherwise, you will get sort of it triggered and icky. But we're going to transmute it, and you're going to feel so much better by the end. It's worth it. Okay, are you ready? Tapping with me. Now, what I do isn't always tapping, because the main event is actually the feeling and the relationship with it and the transmuting it. And so sometimes the tapping can actually be distracting, but we'll start with the tapping now. Okay, tap, tap, tap your chest. Take a big, deep breath in. Breathe when I breathe. Repeat what I say and the exaggeration of the words. You can change anything to match your story. Are you ready, guys? Good work for getting this far. Big sigh, relax your throat, open your mouth, and do a fake yawn. Relax your shoulders. Okay, so let's say part of me doesn't feel safe. When I think about what I want, does one feel safer than the other? And see how my head is just sort of empty and like blank, like an airhead? Don't be like, does one feel safer than the other, and go, No. Just empty. It doesn't matter if an answer pops in. That's the question, is the point of it. It does a whole thing. Answer might pop in. That's cool, but it don't matter. Okay, repeat after me. I have this part of me that doesn't feel safe. This is a part of me that wants what's best. It wants what's best for me. And I feel it in my body. So feel that part of you that doesn't quite feel safe. Could just be in general or for one of the options. And now say to it, I give you permission to feel this way. And put your hands up like this, because you do anyway. Now just put your hands on your chest. I want you to feel the unsafe feeling. I feel this unsafe feeling in my body. Scrunch up your face. This feeling that it might not work out. Shortness of breath. Like this feeling that it might be dangerous. Clench your shoulders up. This feeling that I just can't do it. Now I want you to clench your whole body. Fingers, face, butt, all the bits. Breathe in. Clench, and then let it all out. Tap the side of your hand. Big exhale. You sound. Okay, repeat after me. This part of me doesn't feel safe. This is a part of me that's been hurt before. And it's trying to warn me. It's trying to let me know that there could be something wrong. You tap the inside of your wrist together and say, and if it's really not safe, then I won't do it. If it's not right for me, then I won't do it. If it's not what my higher self wants, then I won't do it. I choose to admit I have this part of me. Hands on your heart. Stop tapping and just on your heart. This part of me that feels really unsafe. Where do you feel it in your body? I feel it in my... Okay, slow it down. Don't hurry through this. I feel it in my... Where? Okay, so where do you feel it in your body? Use the word here like a laser pointer, like a cat chases. Don't say anything else, just the word here. I feel it in here. Go into wherever it is. Breathe into it. Even if it's everywhere, take your attention everywhere. Go into the specific spot you feel it without hoping it will change. This is the most important part of the whole exercise. Do not hope it changes. You're changing your reaction to it. So has everyone got their unsafe feeling? Is this the right vibe for everyone? If there's something that I'm missing out there or it's not really working, let me know. Otherwise, say, and we're going to just bring it up a few times. Say, I admit I don't feel safe. I'm worried about my decisions. I'm worried about how it could go. And now think about it and say, and I thank myself for feeling this way. Thanks, Tasha. Because this part is trying to protect me. And now I know it's silly, but please trust me, this is not for silliness sake. This is because this is what works. Say, you know what? This part is actually trying to help me. And now sort of put your nose in the air and go, yes, 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 yes. Say, thank you, little feeling, and touch wherever the feeling is. Imagine you got beautiful light coming out of your hand. So let's ask your higher self, what color, light, and frequency is needed to help this part of you feel safe? So just first color that comes to you. Make it up. It doesn't matter if you can see it, if you feel it, pretend it or know it. It's a real energy. So what's your color? If you still don't have it, just force yourself. First one, go. Okay, so you've got your color. Breathe that color in through your body. Imagine it's flowing through your hands, whether you see it or not. And just know that it's flowing into wherever you feel this energy. So you can see my hands, but put your hand wherever the feeling is. This light is flowing into the feeling. Okay, so what color is the feeling itself? This unsafe, this danger, this it's not right feeling. The color could just be like black or murky or gray or any color in between or multiple colors. I choose to send this part of me compassion. And I invite it into my body so I can protect it. Because I know what it's like to not feel safe. So relax your shoulders, relax the air above your shoulders, even if you have to wiggle your body. Just really start opening, like as in like not the feeling, but around the feeling, and help the feeling just unwind. It's going to feel like it's getting worse. Use your breath and your courage, but this is actually healing, moving through your body, not crunched up in a corner. Okay, put your hands over it. Big deep breath. Big sigh. Big yawn, nose in the air. Relax your heart towards the feeling, giving it permission to stay so you can protect it. So wherever the feeling is, put your hand in front of your body. So if it's in your heart, it would be like this. And I want you to hold the feeling in whichever way your hands want to be. It could be like this, like this, like this. Hold the feeling. Okay, imagine it's right in front of your body. And you can even imagine your hands are really long with that colored light and scooping it into your hands, surrounded by the light. And say, I'm sorry that it took me so long. Relax your belly button. Say it again. Say it like you actually mean it this time. I'm sorry it took me so long. I didn't realize. But now I know you're a part of me that needs my love the most. So even though I want you to feel better, you really hold it and start rolling it around in your hands just gently. I give you permission to stay and I will protect you. Now breathe into it and imagine you're giving it a hug, both in your body and in your hands, an actual little squeeze, which is different to clenching. Ready? Breathe into it. 100% with all your power. You can change your mind later. Give it full permission to be protected here. Big sigh, big yawn. Relax your heart towards it. Invite this feeling into your body and stretch up lovingly as much as you can, even if you have other stuff going on in your body. Okay, move your body around. Okay, so let's tap the eyebrows. So say, even though I have some remaining stuff, I've already felt a change. So I give what's remaining permission to stay so I can protect it. So God, the divine, can protect it. Whichever words you like. Tap in the corners of your eyes. I love and accept myself as much as I can. And even though it would be really weird to trust my intuition fully, I'm willing to give it a go. I'm willing to see what will happen if maybe I give myself full permission to trust what I know is right for me. Tap the top of the cheekbones really up high. Big deep breath. Oh, big yawn. Even if it's sort of fake. Just, what's this word? Relax into it. Relax your belly button. All the bits around the edge of the feeling. Now put your hands over wherever the feeling is. And say, I choose to call in supernatural support, the highest loving spirit of all. And you might like to call Jesus or just the highest loving spirit of all, whichever one you like. I choose to allow myself to be guided, protected, and I choose to trust that I know the answer and that my intuition lives in my body. Take a big breath. Okay, we're pretty much done. Now are you ready? So allow any remaining stuff to move in your body. We could have gone so much deeper than this, but since it's general and we've got a time constriction, just trust that you've cleared and you've moved something. It's impossible with this method, with the breathing and the tapping and the talking with it. I've definitely moved and changed in some way. Okay, so think of your two options. They don't need to be different than before, but just notice how your body responds now compared to earlier. Okay, so take your first option without thinking about how it will happen, if it will hurt anyone, if it'll be too hot or cold, if it will be this and that. Just imagine it's already there in your life and it's done and it's happened and you're living it. Okay, take a breath. You're living it, you're feeling it, just think about it. Okay, take a breath to reset. Now bring the other option in and imagine that you're living it, that it's done, that it's there, that you've chosen it. And take a breath. Just be in the energy of it and notice what happens in your body. Notice how things and like feelings move. Okay, so take a breath to reset. We'll go back to the other one. Don't need anything to happen. Okay, bring in the other one. Now I want you to imagine it has a stream of energy going forward into the future. And just sort of empty airhead. I know it sounds really weird, but don't need anything to happen. Just feel the stream going forward into the future. Now I want you to notice there are things on the pathway. Not anything. It could be colors or a vibe or actual little future events. It's okay if it's not clear. The more you open and you don't need it to happen, the easier it happens. Okay, take a breath to reset. Bring in the other decision, like the second decision. And now see it again as a little stream going into the future and little pathways, little things, little colors or vibes just going forward. And you'll notice that maybe one is a big stream in the future. One is like a shorter one or a darker one, or it could turn up like so differently for you. But that's why you have to experiment with this stuff. The way it works for me might not be how it works for you. You're not doing it wrong. And sometimes you might just need more practice or just to let yourself trust what came up. So now from this space, do you have a clearer feeling in your body? Is one more expansive and lighter and brighter? More ease and flow and relief? And the other one different? Or can you tell a difference? And even if you do have a no for the other one, like for the same one, I'd love to know, how is it different now that you've done the clearing? Yeah, I know. Well, you know what? I'm curious to see if somebody on this call today is going to take up the fast action bonus, because I have a single session. Now, at the moment, my single sessions on their own, I do give a discount for doing multiple sessions in full, but on their own are £333 per session. And my Guided by Your Soul program, where you get the old program with my blue wig and my new program, which is going to be with my purple hair, at the moment on early bird special, since I haven't released it yet, is only £222. Plus the first person that signs up will get my single session. Okay, so that means that for less than the price of a single session, you get a single session with me and the program. And I'm just doing that because I just want to get this program in your hot little hands, and I want to share this work. And I just felt called. My intuition told me. And so maybe it's to get us doing some sessions together, or at least one. You never know. Even one session can really change something. But, you know, whoever's going to take it, you can click the link here. You can ask me for the link. You're completely welcome. And if you do sign up and you miss the fast action bonus, just know that the program itself, we're going to have tapping, energy work. It could be charged well more. Like, I don't think I like undercharge. I think I more just like to give so much value that that's so even though like you could be like, oh, I undercharge because my prices are so low. It's not that. It's that that's the price that feels right and accessible, and my intuition tells me to, because that's what I go. I don't overthink them, and I just put so much value in it. So you get it, and you like, yes, and you just know it's worth it, and then the transformation you get is valuable. Okay, so let's see. Let me put my glasses on. This text is so small on this. Don't want your glasses. They just came today. Option 1 didn't feel as stuck this time. It was as if I was observing from the outside. It was a lot calmer though. Awesome. But did you feel the no-ness of it? Was it still like, it wasn't so wrapped up? This is my guess. Tell me if I'm wrong. Was it this time like you weren't so wrapped up in the fear of it, but you could, as you said, more like seeing it, observing it, being like, yeah, no, that's not the right one, but this one is. And that's where the power comes from, when you're not emotionally wrapped up in it. Now, sometimes when you do this sort of work, you'll be like, oh, actually, that thing was never actually a real thing. It was just a fear. And then it might change to a yes, maybe. But generally, just trust what happens in your body. Option 2 seems a lot more active and lively, confetti and bright colors as soon as I thought of it each time. Option 1 was definitely a no without the fear. Now, was that the answer you was expecting it to be when you had the 2 options for the decisions? Like, I'm just curious, because did you have like no idea which one you choose, or were you leaning towards one in the beginning, and is it the one you expected or a different one before we did this? There's no wrong answer. I just love how the human mind works. Okay, so let's see. Oh, Kelly, hi. Welcome. Oh, thank you so much for sharing all of this with me. Yes. Okay, fantastic. Well, yeah, you wanted to do both, but now do you feel more settled in the idea of following the one with the confetti? Yeah, because it really does work like that. And when you clear, okay, so you don't just like, it's really important to understand that feelings aren't facts, and feelings will lie to you. And so it's beyond the scope of this, because we've all been going for ages, but I really want to teach you about how to know what's a truth and a lie, which is actually the emotional guidance system. And just really quickly, I'm going to drill it into you if you join Guided by Your Soul. We have it inverted. What you think is true, the more negative something feels, that doesn't mean it's true. That means it's a lie against how the universe actually works. And it may actually be happening, but that's because you're creating it through a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I want to help you reverse your inverted thinking, which we all have, into organic, divine, supernatural thinking and Guided by Your Soul. So if you join, this is what we're going to be doing together. Obviously, I hope you do, because I love everyone that's here. And, you know, if you don't want to, that's okay as well. But I know for sure that this is the most important work that we can do to really help ourselves. This is the work that got me out of my deep self-worth issues, which I still sometimes have like some issues, like, oh, I don't feel good enough for that, and this person might not like me, and sure, but not like then. Before, it used to crush me. And it wasn't until I understood and actually like physically understood what I'm teaching on Guided by Your Soul, how to recognize an actual lie and just be able to be like, nope, this is not true. Just because, and it's what I'm going to teach you more of. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to put the link in one more time to make it easy for you. Go here. The race is on for the 1 bonus session. Pure manifesting session. We'll work with whatever's important for you. And as I said, if you do miss the fast action session, since there's literally only one and someone's probably going to sign up for it really soon, don't worry. The program itself will be amazing, but at least, see, the universe likes fast action. So if you're feeling a yes or an interest, or I would like to do more work with Kai and, you know, just keep clearing and things like that, then whether you get the first bonus session or not, Guided by Your Soul will be a great place to be. And if you do want the bonus, then obviously jump in and get that now. Okay, gorgeouses. Whew, good work today. Thank you for being here. If you feel so called, please share this. If you have any questions about anything really, especially about Guided by Your Soul, send me a message. I'm happy to answer. And yeah, honestly, I really honor your time, and I'm so grateful that you were here. So Be proud of yourself. Notice the changes in how your body feels. As you know, I'm Kai Clifford, your spiritual guide and energy alchemist, and it just passed 1/11/11/11/11, just as I'm wrapping up. So good work today, beautiful people. Let me know if you want to shoot me a message and let me know what this was like for you. I always love to hear. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here. Yay, good work today. And for some of you, I'll see you in Guided by Your Soul. Bye. Oh, that's share. How do I actually turn this off? Is it here? It might be there. It's my little light.